All right, welcome back, everybody. Anybody that's new here, thanks for joining me today. Today's going to be a real simple one. It's just kind of an exciting one, and I had to share it with you guys. All of you guys that are subscribed, you should be very excited because a good portion of you guys are, how should I say, you're addicted to the same thing I am, like walking on something that's hard. Either way, let's get into this real quick. What could that be? Okay, that might give it away. All right, guys. So I didn't know this was coming. Um, Christmas comes early once in a while around here, apparently. So I am going to open this while I am on camera, and we were going to go through this excitement together. Go ahead and comment below what you think this is. Obviously, I showed you the size of it, so that's going to give away what it is. But what do you think this is for? I mean, you guys might know. No, comment below. Comment below. If you guys have a good guess, I'll listen to it. I want to see what you guys do. Whoever gets it right first, I'll pin your comment. Because I want to see who's paying attention and who's paying attention for the longest period of time. If you guys are new, I mean, you might guess it right away, but for you subscribers, this is going to be one of those things where you're going to be like, why did you get that? And I will explain it to you in a second here. Let's go ahead and pull this out of here very carefully. All right, there's your second clue. Okay, so before I open this and unwrap it, what is this for? You guys, you'll see. Let's just get into it. Okay, here's the debut. Oh my god. Oh, all right. Who guessed it? Who guessed what it is? I mean, you might not even know what that is still. If you're new here, you probably have no idea what that is. That is an ice fishing rod, but it's a very specific one for a very specific reason. Any guesses? Okay, so that's the last chance you get here. I'll know if you guys commented in time, because I'm going to make sure that I pay attention to that. Whoever gets it right, like I said first, is going to be the one that gets pinned at the top of the comments. So get your comments in there before I tell you exactly what this is and go over why this one's so special. Alright guys, now that you guys put your comments down below, it's time to talk about my new Bullwhip. This is a tuned up custom rods Bullwhip. And I actually already have a Bullwhip that I got. I think I bought it like 5 or 6. God, maybe that was 6 or 7 years ago I bought my first Bullwhip. It is a 30-inch, and I have that one specifically for fishing inside small shacks and tight places or whatever, or if I'm in the wind or whatever, I want to keep it close to my body so it's not moving around. For you guys that are new to this channel, a Bullwhip is a sight tip ice fishing rod. So this is a very light tip, and it transitions right into a nice stiff backbone. Now the difference with this Bullwhip versus my other Bullwhip, and the reason I went with this one, is 2 things. I made the other one custom to the way I wanted it, but it was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and I didn't really get into the specifics of what I needed 2 of them. So I bought one right away, but this one's really, really special because, okay, so let's see, they should be, it's not written down, but I'll have to get it, I'll have to get the measurements out and everything like that, but this is a 36-inch Bullwhip, and then, as you guys can see, it's going to look a little different than most people's Bullwhips, because what I have here is, make sure I don't poke anything with this, from this point right here, from the top of this cork, to this first line should be 8 inches. So bluegills, like if I'm keeping them, 8 inches right here. 9, Then I have, this one's 10, so it's unique. 11, another one, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I use bullwhips predominantly for all of my pan fishing needs. And I made it really simple. So like if I'm keeping bluegills, I will keep them up to or below 9. So I can just hold it up real quick. You know, you're out on the ice, you don't have a measuring tape with you. I can hold it up real quick. And if it's in here, then I know I can keep it to eat it or whatever. Or if I get up to here, so 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, that's a giant bluegill. Now, mind you, I don't keep big bluegills anyways, so if I got that big, I would do further measurements and stuff like that to get a replica if I wanted to get a big replica of a special bluegill. But the reason I went with 12 as my next marker is, so perch fishing, I like to keep 10 through 12. Most I'll do is 13, but it has to depend on where you're at. Some places perch will grow easily to that 13-inch mark, so then I can go 11, 12, 13, and those are perfect, eaters for me to eat perch. Then I do the same thing for crappie usually. It's usually like 10 or 11, 12, 13 for crappie, and I don't usually keep them any bigger than that. But I went to 16 because perch and crappie both have a high potential in some of the places I fish to grow that big. And if it's over 16 inches and it's a crappie or a perch, it might be a state record, and I'm going to have to look into it. Either way, I'm probably going to get a replica of something if it's bigger than this 16-inch mark. So that's how I put this together. It's got the recoil guides. These are pretty durable little guides on it. And it's got something really special I'm going to show you here in a second. But it's a split grip right here. It's got the TUCR Customs logo on the end. But I like the split grip because I do like to hold them pencil style. Usually it's really good for like when you want to keep the bait moving subtly, which is what you're going to do when you're fishing a bait or a rod like this. It's got a kind of just tiny little marker of orange on the end of this tip, just so like as it's further away from me, I can move it around, and any kind of sight indicator works. It's already obviously got the blaze yellow or whatever, bright yellow. But I'm going to show you this little special detail that I want to see. Comment below if you guys get a kick out of this detail. Let me get a close-up of it. There you go. That's the detail that I am very, very excited to have this this rod for. Obviously, I'm DWS Dave or DWS Outdoors, however you guys want to refer to me. But I want to know if you guys understand what the BB addiction is. Obviously, it's pretty simple if you guys understand why I have this rod and all that stuff. But comment below if you guys know what that means. Okay, so you guys can comment below. I'm not going to say what that is. If you guys have been around, you should know by now. This thing's going to be so awesome. One of the biggest reasons I went with this is I almost went with like a 42 or a 44 inch, but I wanted it to fit. You can see it right there. That's my Otter Sportsman's case, and it fits just inside of it is a 39 inch. I think you can fit a 39 inch rod. But I wanted to make sure that this fit inside easily with my other rods. I have a bunch of other rods that are in there, but and the other thing is the reason I went with a long rod like this 36 inch is it's mainly for standing and fishing. So like if I'm standing and I'm hole hopping, instead of being hunched over all day long with my 30-inch rod or having to kneel down, I can stand, and this reaches basically, like I'm holding it like this right now, it reaches within 3 inches of the ground. So if that was the ice, I mean, it's right there. So the 36 is the perfect size. I'm 5'9", So I'm not tall, super tall. If I was like 6 foot or something like that, I would suggest getting like a 39 or a 42 inch. I could have went with like a 40 inch and it would have been just as fine, but the 36 inch fits that need. And then on top of that, this still fits inside my shack. So if I'm fishing sitting inside my shack, the distance from here to here won't be into the front of my shack. I have an otter cabin. I actually plan on getting a new one if I can sometime soon, because it's like the perfect size for compactness and not too heavy, not too light type thing. But this should fit inside of it just fine, and that's going to be the biggest reason for it, was to be able to transition from one to the other. But the main thing that I came across was I was doing a lot more hole hopping last year, and it was one of those things where like you get a sore neck from staring like this at your fish finder, and you're like reaching really far with a shorter rod. And it was one of those things where I wanted another setup like that. Plus the ability to fish two different setups back to back. I run into this a lot, and I if I'm talking too much, I'm just trying to help you guys out. Anybody on the fence about buying one of these rods, I can tell you I've had the other one forever, and there's no reason like that I can come up with, and this is true. There's no reason you can't buy one of these rods. I literally caught that fish was the first very big fish I caught on my other rod. That's a 28 inch, 8-pound freaking walleye, and I was crappie fishing. He came in, I had that rod in my hand, and I was going to switch rods, but I knew I had one chance at him coming in, and I got him to go after the crappie bait I was using. And long story short, I have a big old monster walleye on the wall. I would have got a replica and stuff and thrown that back, but when I pulled him out of the ice, I actually ripped its gills. And I'm not about wasting fish, so I kept it and ended up getting it mounted. I have another one, coincidentally enough, on my Bullwhip, another one that I have to get a replica of because I did get a chance to let it go. It did swim away just fine. I didn't hurt it or anything like that. It's like a 20, or no, it's a 30 and a quarter or something like that walleye from Green Bay. I was whitefish fishing, once again, not targeting. Well, I was targeting walleye partially that day. But long story short, thought it was a whitefish when it came in, targeted it, ended up eating my little jig on my Bullwhip with 4-pound test, and it was I think it's 12 pounds, 9 ounces. You guys will have to see it. Actually, I'll put it up here for you guys that want to go see that video and see the durability of the Bullwhip. Alright guys, so like I said, I didn't plan on filming this. I was just getting done working out and eating some food, and I went out upstairs, and it's one of those things like this has been happening to me a lot lately, and I'm perfectly okay with it. I go upstairs, I look out my front door, and somebody dropped off mail. There's something sitting on my porch, and I got mail, and Christmas came early. I'm gonna throw this spare reel I have on there, probably throw a 4-pound test on it, and then like I was saying before, the upside of that is I'll have my short rod and my long rod, so if I'm going out and and it's super windy and I want to keep the rod close to me, I'll use my 30-inch rod. If I'm hole hopping and I need it to just reach the ground or reach the ice without bending over and all that stuff, I'm going to use the 36-inch rod. Plus, I'll be able to have two different presentations, and that's what I was trying to say before was a lot of times when you're chasing these guys, so that's what this rod is designed for. The Bullwhip stands for bull bluegill, like that guy, big 9.5-inch bull bluegill. So it's my Bullwhip, it's my other Bullwhip, but the thing with those guys is they can be incredibly hard to catch. I've caught more giant walleye than I have gigantic bluegills. If there's any correlation there, you guys should know it's a much harder thing to stick a 10-inch plus bluegill than it is to catch an 8-pound walleye. It's just one of those weird things that it's been working that way. So the ability to switch back and forth with baits real quickly, so like being able to reel up and drop down a different bait, good portion of the time it's either one or the other. So you're going to go bigger or lighter. And the thing is if you don't have it tied up and you're like trying to fumble with other rods and you have too many big things going down, you lose your chance real quickly at a giant bluegill like that. So I'm trying to up my percentage here. Hopefully you guys are excited for those big bluegill chasing videos this winter. I have some ideas and I have some places I'm definitely going to be going to try and find them. So fingers crossed I get into some of those. But I'm excited and I hope you guys are too. I know ice season isn't right here, but my fingers are crossed that we get a really good first ice, because that's one of my favorite times of year to target these guys. They're hungry, they're active, and yeah, hopefully I can trick some giants with this new Bullwhip. Comment below if you guys plan on buying any of these rods or anything like that. Just comment below. And if you have any questions or anything like that about Tuned Up Customs, I'd be happy to answer them. Just ask in the comments below. And obviously, I'm going to link them below. I work with them. Been working with them for a while now. I have 3 of their open water rods right here. And I'm not digging it out yet, but I have like 3 or 4 of their ice rods. Well, now I have like 4 or 5 of their ice rods. And I can't say anything bad about them. They've been hands down probably one of the best companies that I've worked with. So one thing I will give you guys a heads up, if you're still around and you plan on buying one, expect at least a 2-week minimum turnaround time. So if you guys want one of these rods for the ice season, by the time you see this video, you should call, talk about what you want on one. If you want, you can just say you want one of DWS Dave's style bullwhips. And they should have my specs there, with with the lines on it, and then my custom setup here. You can get the same kind of bullwhip that I have. Just talk to them, say that you want the same one that I have, and they'll build it the same way. I can promise if you get this style, you're gonna enjoy it. There's no way you won't. One of the top things I suggest doing is putting a 1000 reel on it with 4-pound P-line. It's been my go-to for the last 5 or 6 years, and I haven't had any problems yet. Bring in walleye, bring in giant walleye, bring in giant bluegills, giant crappies. My bullwhips caught it all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little exciting impromptu rod reveal / get excited for ice fishing. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Obviously, if you're not new here, you know what's up. But if you are new, can you please just remember to